and for all ethnic Muslim minorities.
Alongside religion, the re-education camps are aimed at wiping out the Uyghur language, dress, and cultural practices entirely. To achieve all this, the Chinese government has created the world's most extensive surveillance state. Facial recognition cameras, body scanners, mandatory apps, GPS tracking, and surveillance drones cover every inch of the region. The Chinese tech companies like Huawei use these government contracts to develop even more intrusive systems.
China's police purchased genetic sequencing equipment from Massachusetts biotechnology firm Thermo Fisher Scientific. According to the New York Times on Wednesday, Thermo Fisher said it would no longer sell its equipment in Xinjiang.
There is growing pressure on China to tell the world if the Uyghurs they're detaining in East Turkestan are alive and well, and the hashtag is being used to keep that pressure on.
He has been missing for the past 3.5 months. We would like to know his whereabouts.
China, please release a video of my sister, Dr. Krishan Abbas, who you have abducted 5 months ago.
The story of Xinjiang's camps has been known for some time, but these highly classified internal government cables provide a rare glimpse inside Beijing's high-tech system of repression for millions of its Muslim minorities. The cables were leaked to the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists and shared with the ABC and 16 other international media partners.
Also die Berichte, die anhaltenden Berichte über die Situation der Uiguren, von der mindestens oder bis zu 1 Million Menschen betroffen sind, in den sogenannten Umerziehungslagern in Xinjiang, verfolgen wir mit größter Sorge und das auch nochmal nach den neuerlich bekannt gewordenen Berichten über die Situation dort.
These reports are consistent with an overwhelming and growing body of evidence that the Chinese Communist Party is committing human rights violations and abuses against individuals in mass detention. Call on the Chinese government to immediately release all those who are arbitrarily detained and to end its draconian policies.
Hello everyone, my name is Talgut and I'm an Uyghur from northwest of China, and I've been residing in Australia for over 30 years. And the reason for us today holding a protest is that in northwest of China, which is the occupied land named East Turkestan, and it's named Xinjiang by China, is now being under the Chinese genocide policy. The Uyghur nation in East Turkestan, northwest of China, are being held in internment camps by the Chinese Communist Party to ethnically cleansing this nation. And you may ask why, and in this time the Chinese government would do such a thing. East Turkestan, or Xinjiang, named by China, has been occupied by Chinese Communist Party in 1949, and since then the Uyghur nation has been suppressed and oppressed by the Chinese Communist Party. And the Chinese Communist Party today is taking a next step of ethnically cleansing and genocide policy against this nation. The reason for this is that they realize that Uyghur people, just like the Tibetans that has been occupied by the Chinese Communist Party, the Uyghur nation has not been assimilated into China. The Chinese Communist Party have not been successful with their policies for assimilating this nation into Han Chinese, to change their culture, religion and ethnicity. They realize that the only way to finish these people, to assimilate these people, is to lock them up in internment camps and stop introducing a policies such as a birth control, sterilization to the woman, and also killing as many as they can, selling their organs for a business, to eradicate this nation. So as you can see in the pictures here, that there are many pictures that has been leaked from China, that they were locking up millions of people. We believe that over 3 million people have been locked up in concentration camps. A woman from the young age, from the age of 3, 4 even. And there's a children camps, and there's adult camps. And the adults and women are separated in the camps. And the woman, many young women are subjected to rape, a forced marriage to Han Chinese. And if they reject, they would be punished by taking their family members into the prisoners, torture, on all types of horrible things. So the Chinese government policy is to eradicate this nation, to finish them and assimilate them, so that there's no one left in that East Turkestan land to claim for their land, because China has occupied that land, just like the Tibet situation, similar to the Tibet situation. So right now, today, as we speak, there are millions of families are locked up in internment camps, being tortured in the name of educational programs by Chinese Communist Party. But in reality, this is their agenda is to genocide these people, ethnically cleansing and eradicating this nation from that land, so that there's no Uyghurs left to claim that land. We believe that the Uyghurs believe that there's over 25 to 30 million Uyghurs, but Chinese officials, Chinese government are always claiming that these people are close to 10 million. But recently, most alarmingly, statement by one of these Chinese officials was that they claim that there's only 6 million. So that from this we understood that the Chinese Communist Party's aim is to kill the rest of our population and tell the world that there's only 5 to 6 million left live in that land, the Uyghurs, the Kazakhs, Kyrgyz and the rest of the Turkic people. We protest every Sunday here to stand against the Chinese Communist Party genocide policy, all this suppression, to stop the genocide, to stop the killing of the Uyghur race. We ask the leaders of the world, we ask all the people in the world, the common people, to stand with us, to fight with us against the Chinese Communist Party, to stop these atrocities these killings, this genocide policy. We believe if we all stand a fight together to stand against the Chinese ethnic cleansing policies, we believe we can stop them. And many of those people who are locked up in internment camps are being used as a forced labor. They use them to produce their own goods to sell and make a profit. So please, you can have a look at those signs here of the labels that the companies are listed who are involved in these labor camps, to benefiting from these labor camps. Please boycott all these goods that are produced from these labor camps, are listed in the banners here. Please support the Uyghur who are being ethnically cleansing by Chinese Communist Party right now as we speak. There are millions, we believe over 3 million, even up to 5 million, including kids, are locked up, are being tortured, raped. And only last year we have learned from one of the survivor of the camp that she has made a statement that from early 2020, Xi Jinping, the leader of Chinese Communist Party, have declared that all the Uyghur women from the age of 18 to 55 must be sterilized. They cannot refuse. They have to accept their sterilization. And this was the government's order and policy to the only Uyghur young woman. So this is a really evil act. We need to stand against the Chinese Communist Party.
Party over here.
We need to fight against the Chinese Communist Party genocide policy. This is not different than the Holocaust that the Jews has experienced, and the whole world did agree that never again this should happen. There's no a big strong country should do practice a genocide to small nations like this. And yet today the Chinese government is killing the Uyghur people, like the Tibetans who's experienced oppression and ethnically cleansing programs by Chinese Communist Party. Please support the Uyghur people who are experiencing ethnic cleansing by the Chinese Communist Party. Go to the social medias, spread the news, spread the facts. There are many facts. There are many testimonies from the survivors of the camps who has been making statement the experiences that they have experienced in the camps and the horrible killings, rapes, harvesting the organs of the people who's in the camps, and torture.
In Pakistan. A seaport in Sri Lanka recently opened, as well as this bridge in rural Laos. What's interesting is that they're all part of one country's project.
China.
The Belt and Road Initiative, known as the Belt and Road Initiative. One Belt, One Road Initiative.
The Chinese government guaranteed a loan to Montenegro worth more than $1 billion.
The previous Sri Lankan government built the
accused of sending people to modern-day internment camps, condemned for the crime of being Muslim. Chinese officials deny it, insisting this is about preventing terrorism.
It's genocide.
You consider this torture?
Torture.
We were granted a rare tour.
Is it possible you could give us next time?
We quickly discovered the cops are behind us. A lot of people don't want us to find the answers. There's a guy's running at us right here.
Oh, hey, how are you?
We're not going to China, we're just going to Kazakhstan. We began our search here in America's capital. where Kazat spends his life in a kind of limbo.
We're going to go through P.S. Park, regular...
The 35-year-old lives in Virginia, working as a computer science teacher, coming home to play with his 4 children every night. At the same time, wondering where his own father may be.
He sent me a message from WeChat, voice message. So he said, son, they're taking me. He was pretty nervous from his voice.
Did he say who's taking him away or what's happening?
Police are taking me. Translation from Uyghur is son, they're taking me.
That message left more than a year ago. He has not heard from his father since.
He was pretty tough guy, I'm not sure that he can survive in the concentration camp. But I don't know where he is.
Kazat and his family come from Xinjiang, a province in far western China. They are Uyghur, a large ethnic minority group. More than 11 million Uyghurs live in China alone, and they are mostly Muslim. They have more in common with the people of Central Asia and Turkey than they do with their fellow Chinese citizens in the East. Now, Xinjiang is also where experts say the Chinese government has built those internment camps.
They wanted to raise us from the land.
There are very few images of the camps, some satellite images, some pictures from the Chinese government, and a few alleged cell phone videos and photos leaked to activists. Sophie Richardson is with Human Rights Watch. How can we possibly find out what's really happening in those camps?
Well, we talked to people who were still in the region. We also managed to talk in Kazakhstan to people who had gotten out.
In an effort to get answers, we traveled to Kazakhstan, a former part of the Soviet Union, which borders Xinjiang, where we meet lawyer Sarakjan Balash. His office is flooded by families desperate for help. Most here have lost contact with their parents, siblings, or children right across the border. What's your mother? What happened to her?
The fork in Grenfell and Broom is truly different.
This is shocking, I think, to most people in the world.
Okay, we did it is just ethnic cleansing. It's genocide.
The Chinese call these camps vocational centers, but when I asked U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, he said this.
These are truly internment camps where these people are being treated in ways that are fundamentally inconsistent with what China would have you believe, and in ways that when the world finds out, we will all regret.
The Uyghurs' home region is vital to China, rich in resources and a crossroads for trade. Experts like Darren Byler say government policies encouraging the Han Chinese to move west created tension in Xinjiang.
Uyghurs began to feel dispossessed or in many ways excluded from participating in those new economies.
Beijing blamed groups of radicalized Uyghurs for an increase in violence, and experts say that gave the government a target.
People that appeared Muslim in their daily life and their dress, they were seen as potential terrorists.
I first started covering the conflicts in this region several years ago.
Right around this town of Yeftan, you can see there's police officers. In fact,
by 2014, China began building the camps. Is there torture?
Yes.
What kind?
Physical torture.
Thank you, Isabel.
People who are being detained in these facilities are being subjected to degradation and humiliation of a kind that would break just about anyone.
Just to show us exactly about how he was caught. In Kazakhstan, several men demonstrate the severe postures they say they were forced to hold for hours, some telling us that guards used iron armor to keep them in place. The day after we met Balash, we came back to his office to interview Gazira Al-Khan, who was confined in 3 different camps, then given a job in a factory making gloves for pennies on the dollar. She could not leave, so for all that time she was separated from her 5-year-old daughter. For 2 years you didn't see your mom?
I'm not a Chinese, but I'm being here to part of like against China. Yeah, not a Chinese, but people against this government. Yeah, CCP, fuck the communist, fuck you. CCP, get the fuck out of the wall. You don't like the CCP, how they do.
Unbeknownst to us, at the same time we were doing this interview, drama is unfolding out in the hallway. Police have made their way into the building. Police. Down the corridor, they're collecting Balazs's files. The man himself, nowhere to be seen.
Now we're kind of walking down the stairs quickly to get out. We really have no idea what they're looking for. Hopefully they're not doing this for the Chinese.
A call from Balazs's wife confirms what we fear. Balazs has been arrested. His cell phone video shot in the hotel room where he was apparently taken into custody, showing blood on the bathroom floor.
He said that his life is in a danger.
In the weeks that followed, his wife confirms he's been held in another city on house arrest and charged with inciting ethnic hatred.
I really think that China is behind his arrest because China really don't want to
She and her children were left to fend for themselves.
I have to protect my children's father.
Now that our connection with Balazs is severed, we head toward China. We drive to the border town of Korgos, where we're told many people leaving Xinjiang cross over. To get there, we have to pass through gates and security checkpoints.
All right, we're going through the security right now to head toward the direction of China. A lot of cameras everywhere here.
Behind these two towers is Chinese side.
They're so sensitive about pointing the camera towards China from this side of Kazakhstan. It's paranoia. So we can see the Chinese guards are right there, the Chinese police. China in red, Kazakhstan in blue.
But it didn't take long.
Scrutinizing what is being installed in our networks and how it is being overseen and how it's being controlled and how it's being upgraded in the future, because very often this is about the next generation.
If you are bringing a company into your 5G network, which is a really critical piece of national infrastructure, and other national infrastructure is going to sit on top of that 5G network, you need to be able to trust that company, and they need to be very transparent. And the problem with Huawei is we don't have that.
China has won a seat on a panel on the controversial UN Human Rights Council, where it will help vet candidates for important posts despite its decades-long record of systematic human rights abuse that the US has said fueled the coronavirus pandemic. And certainly the world is paying a big price for what they did.
The whispered word communism of old is now being replaced by the word China.
They shave their heads, they abort their babies. A genocide of the Uyghur people by the Chinese government is taking place before our eyes. It is easy to criticise the next world superpower.